Recording. Hold on. We are now live.
From the greatest minds from around the world, this is Nerds That Know. Stash here, along with my lovely cohort of nerds and our very own dwarf, who lives and resides permanently in caves.
At least his cave isn't black this time.
At least he can call us his minions.
It's true. It's true. I actually wrote out the word cohort, so I made sure and used it. You're welcome.
Took you that whole time to just spell out cohort to make sure that you used it.
I was writing other things as well. I was editorializing on Willy's Wonderland and etc.
Did you stay up all night coming up with that word, cohorts?
No, not at all.
Yeah, he uses that word a lot.
A nice way to reference our collective nerddom. And cohort is what came to mind.
You have one of those calendars that feature word of the day, don't you? And cohort happens to be.
My calendar features Charlie Chaplin's screenshots, and there's a cop grabbing his ass on the one right now. So please properly respect my calendars.
Next week,
after all, my mother buys them for me still.
Right.
That's her thing. She buys us a calendar every year for Christmas.
I know. We've talked about it. It's okay.
I'm just glad that this year's calendar is actually something you enjoy.
That's true.
Previously, she has not always done that.
That is definitely the case. There have definitely been calendars I'm like, this is a mom gift. Otherwise, it'd be in the garbage.
Didn't you have a really cool Alice in Wonderland one?
I did. That was last year. That was last
year. That was the year before last.
Yeah, last year was Walking Dead.
Last year. The year before last was the stupid Walking Dead one. That was probably the worst one Mom ever got me.
Not a fan of The Walking Dead?
No, I hate that show. It's like I gave it a try. I made it through like the first season, maybe first season and a half, and I was like, why?
You should go watch when Negan kills everybody, because that'd entertain you, I bet.
It probably would. That sounds it's like just the wholesale destruction of a whole bunch of like not great actors.
Yeah, that when that season was airing, there were a bunch of memes featuring it's Glenn, right? Like his face all smashed in with his eyeballs sticking out.
Oh shit.
And I'm a sensitive little baby, so I couldn't go on Facebook for a few weeks.
Scarred you, did it?
It really did. I already have enough anxiety relating to gratuitous bodily harm. Hi, Fox here. I'm a little neurotic.
Actually, the image in the comic book is so much worse than the TV show.
Oh yeah.
The visual, I'll never get the visual of the comic out of my mind as much.
It's impressive though.
It is impressive, but oh my god, it's like it's pretty bad.
It reminds me of the Blob eating the wasp.
Yeah. Forgot about that. I was gonna go with Joker and the Crowbar, but
oh shit. Yeah, that's pretty gnarly too.
That one's pretty gnarly. I gotta say, that one's ruthless, absolutely ruthless. Smurf here, who evidently lives in a cave. Fucker.
It's not my fault you moved to a cave.
Only sometimes you live in a cave. Apparently, that's just where you go to hang out when you don't want to spend time with us.
I have been busy. I've had projects going on. I have signed an NDA. All I can say is I am filming.
So all I'm hearing are things that you're trying to argue against. Like maybe you were in a cave, but you refuse to admit it.
There was no cave.
You can neither confirm nor deny that you were in a cave now, can you?
What am I, Schrodinger's fucking Smurf? What the hell?
No.
Actually, you're a dork.
Really?
Smurf is in a metaphorical cave, a cave of non-disclosure.
Yes, that is it. It is the cave of silence.
Oh, I was thinking
it appears to be a cave of nerd glory.
It is quite the cave. The empty boxes, some of them are full, construction going on. It's a 4-alarm fixer going on right now. But the shelves will be done soon. And all the lighting is in place, so I'm really, really excited where it's at right now.
Awesome.
Yep. But you have to have the proper lighting and shelving and all that to display statues properly. And as you can see, there's quite a few. There's a death statue right over my shoulder right there. That's pretty impressive. I like that one. Anyway, yeah.
Was that a hint? Are you part of the new Sandman series?
You know, I'm all excited about the new Sandman series. I'm totally signed on. I'm curious to see what they do, because I know Lucifer has got some stuff going on, and they're talking about bringing in Lucifer and Morpheus and Death and all of that together. So I'm very excited to see if that actually comes to fruition.
Yeah.
We shall see.
And
And they're excited about having an episode 666.
Yes, of course. Yes, that's just too delicious to ignore.
I
to
mean,
resist.
it's a show about the devil. They have to, right?
I think it's only fair. It only makes sense.
I'm pretty sure that's the only reason they actually agreed to having a season 6.
Tom Ellis really loves that role. I don't know why he's not coming back after season 6. He hasn't said
Because
why.
once you hit episode 666, what else is there?
That is kind of the zenith for the career of the devil, I suppose.
Well,
Well.
Tank, do you want to introduce yourself, or?
No, I'm cool.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Tank, and
You
I'm
want
in
me to
my
introduce you?
slightly better lit cave, also filled with nerd stuff over there.
Your
Man, I was
stuff
really
within your
hoping-
cave is in a smaller sub cave.
Yes.
Are we about to have Battle of the Caves?
No, we're
No,
about
I
to
think
join caves, and
that
we're gonna
Tank is
attack
in, like-
people.
caveception. There's a cave within a cave within a cave.
I mean,
And that's what's happening over there.
yeah.
Down in the wilds of Colorado Springs.
Oh yes.
Well, Colorado Springs is already a very specific type of cave.
It is a very different kind of cave. One I'm
Someone
still
called
getting
it
used
cave.
to after roughly 10 years at this point.
A repressed cave at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's what you get for being from Denver and moving down there.
100% true.
I blame your wife.
So do I.
Bobby here, Tank's wife's sister.
That is certainly one way to introduce yourself.
Well, I
It's like
figure if
the
I'm
lead-
blaming her for shit, I might as well, take custody of, her batshit craziness. My
That's
new
true.
lovely cat ears were gifted to me for my birthday from my niece, Tank's oldest daughter.
Mhm.
They're
Aw.
Can I
fantastic.
get a close up on those? Very nice.
So she picked them out herself. She's 5 and
Aw.
already understands that purple is the best color in the world.
What's funny is that's not her favorite color. It's maybe like 5th for her.
I know. She tells me this all the time. But she recognizes that I love purple, and so she still gets me purple things.
Well, she is a considerate child, if a monster of one.
And she does have that problem of she hit me. Well, did you deserve it? Yeah. Because she doesn't take shit off of anybody, this child. Tank has raised his girls watching WWE
Mostly
And-
superheroes.
and
but
MMA and lots of DC and Marvel. And his oldest does like to go, if you piss her off, Hulk will smash. And she will smash you hard.
Yes.
So
But
Well.
she will say sorry afterwards. She's considered
Yes.
like that.
Well, that's
I'm
nice.
sorry that you made me hit you.
Why are you hitting
And
yourself?
that's
Why
another
are you
reason
hitting
why
yourself?
I have no kids.
And why she's currently homeschooled. They said it was because of COVID, but really they just wanted to work on we don't hit people.
We had to train her on her socialization.
No,
skills.
unless they deserve it, then it's okay.
Well, that's the problem, is because she only hits people who do deserve it.
But she's
See?
probably going to be a teacher. So let's leave.
Yeah, I could completely also see her telling a teacher to fuck off or to
Well,
stop being an asshole.
She did tell it to the random stranger talking to her at the grocery store. So
Yes. She also has told someone at the grocery store, "You're an asshole. Put on your mask."
mhm.
No,
feel
I support that.
if you have a child that tells people to pull their mask up over their nose, you've done well.
You have.
She also called someone an asshole for baby talking her. So
She doesn't like baby talk.
she does not like it at all.
She's a big girl.
Mhm.
She can use words. Are you okay? I can talk. Can you? She's
But-
fantastic. But I digress.
Let's move on.
And on that bombshell, what else shall we talk about today?
We have so
What's
many.
on the
Okay.
agenda?
We're talking about children, so let's go into WandaVision because she has the twins,
Well,
and there's been
Does
a
she
shit ton
now?
of crazy.
Does she now?
Yeah. Does she have
I mean,
twins?
I don't want to go too much into spoilers, but fuck me, this was an intense episode. A lot of shit happened.
Well, and last week too. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
not that episode 6 was basically putting all the false flags in place to blow up in your face for episode 7. So it was interesting.
Yeah, I'm really surprised how I turned around on this show. Like I'm genuinely enjoying the ride, and those first 10 minutes where they just toy with the perceptions of like a single era of television are very pleasurable.
Oh, you mean the psychotic break that she was having?
Yes, the repeated psychotic break.
Yes.
The onslaught of psychotic breaks.
Yes.
So it does raise the question. So Tank and I both had points for being correct. He was right about Agatha. I was right about Captain Marvel.
Apparently.
Um,
Something's going on there.
Yeah, but who's the bigger bad? Because it's not Agatha, and it's not Mephisto.
I still think
So
it could be Mephisto.
I
They
maybe
showed the book in her basement. That book ties directly into Marvel's versions of the Eldritch gods, which would include Mephisto.
or is it Despair?
I don't think so.
The color schemes and everything going on, and the focus that they've kind of dove on for like the last couple of episodes about her disparaging over the loss of her brother, loss of vision, the emotion with the kids, and that despair feeds directly off of those emotions. And when you look at the color schemes and everything, because I would think Mephisto would be more red or fire, brimstone, that kind of shit.
I
But-
think those colors were for her, not for who she's working for.
Maybe I'm thinking
Is
so.
she really working for him though?
I don't think so. Actually, I am now
she
thinking
is.
that she's not intentionally working for anyone besides herself.
Yeah, and I
Yes.
think that it's all subconscious on her part. I mean, at least I think that she was being truthful when she said, "I don't know how this happened. I just know that now that I'm here, I don't want to let it go."
Maybe, I don't know.
I think I also think another character is still hiding. Obviously, beyond the big bad, I think we have another witch hiding amongst the members of the Westview community. I think we have a third witch there.
It's
And
possible.
there are a lot of speculations as to who that might be.
I have one very big one. And it was someone that Agatha happened to point the finger at early on.
Yes, then that is the biggest speculation as to who that might be.
Yes.
Just want to do a quick shout out. Emily, Saka, and Dan are all with us on Facebook live stream right now. So hi guys, thanks for joining us.
Hello.
Please drop comments and let us know if you have any thoughts on WandaVision or anything else that we'll be discussing as the night progresses.
Because I
Dude.
honestly thought when Captain Marvel, when Rambo was going to the hill, she was getting strange. I honestly thought when she's like, "Yeah, I made a call. I got somebody showing up." I'm like, "Oh fuck, we're getting Doctor Strange. I honestly thought
We might.
we get a rover. We get a
I
fucking
think
moon
we-
rover.
I
We might
think
get an
we
appearance
will.
though.
Okay, so here's the thing. Like, there's a lot of, she says, I'm calling an engineer friend, blah, blah. There are a couple of those that, in the Marvel universe.
I'm starting to think that it's not someone that we have been suspecting. I think this is the false flag. I think they are putting a lot of people in that place of like, oh, it could be Reed Richards, it could be Hank McCoy, it could be, I think we're getting the scroll friend. I think that's the engineer here.
Joska?
No, the daughter.
Oh,
The one she made friends with in the Captain Marvel movie.
yes.
Right.
Yes.
That would make sense. And just real
And-
quick,
Could be.
jumping back to the Captain Marvel movie, have you guys looked at any of the pictures that they've done of the little girl who's the actress's name I can't remember from the Captain Marvel movie next to our current Rambo?
Oh
Right.
yeah, perfect casting.
Like, oh my God, the casting is just, even the way like the eyes crinkle during the smile, it was very, very well done.
Now, I'm talking about your despair thing. I think that was the set off point. I don't think that that's going to be how everything plays out. I think that was the set off point because they basically at this point have told us this event took place with Vision after Endgame, and then she seemed to be okay with what happened, not entirely, but she seemed to be stable. And then she found out what was happening with Vision, and that's what set everything off.
Yeah, she snapped.
Yeah.
And then I think she was followed into or given information about what was happening with Vision by Agatha. And now she's using that breakdown to develop her own power.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like Agatha's like character disposition is all about perpetuating what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
She is intentionally avoiding change or any drastic alteration to the simulation.
Until now.
Means that she is getting something from the current process, and I think it is just her own way of like growing her own abilities. I did a little research into her earlier today, and I by no means an expert, but is it still canon that like she taught the Scarlet Witch how to control her powers? Or
No.
Not in
No.
that's kind of fallen out. There's a couple different people that technically taught her powers, but it mostly was her just losing control of her powers and figuring it out.
Okay.
Trial and error.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, she's-
because I saw that and I was like, that's interesting if that's the case, because she could have been a failing witch. Like she could have reached the limits of her ability in one way or another and saw this incredible powerhouse of a student that she could manipulate easily and therefore gain some level of control over her.
I think that's what ended up happening.
Mhm.
Not the student part, but I think you're right in she saw what was happening and she made
She
sure
just
that
jumped on
she
it.
could take advantage of it.
Mhm.
And I also think the third person that I'm talking about that I'm not going to say also followed Scarlet Witch in and she got trapped in the simulation.
Yeah, that would make sense. Hi,
And
Mark, thanks for joining us.
she does not have control yet, but she, I think, is scratching at the edges. And something's going to happen there.
We have to wait and see. I can't believe, that this is almost over.
Yeah, 2 more.
Yep.
And we're going to, some crazy stuff is still going to come out of here because I'm fairly certain that that book is one of the missing books from the Sanctum.
Yes.
And that is going to have a large role in why we're going to have the multiverse of madness happening in the future.
I didn't notice, does it have any of the same symbols from like the books at the Sanctum? I didn't know.
I don't think they've really focused on the symbolism too
No.
much on it. Tank and I just recognized the book from the comics.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is a previous knowledge thing of,
Yeah.
hey, I'm pretty sure that book is one of 2 books, and it's not supposed to be in her possession.
No,
Mhm.
and I'm sure there's an interesting story of how the fuck she got it.
Well, I mean,
unless when Wang was away during the war or something,
I think
the
it's
blink.
when Doctor Strange disappeared.
Yes,
during the blank.
Yeah,
because we don't even know if Wang was around. We just know that he was there at the end. So we don't even know if he was around.
We don't know who all blinked.
Well, yeah, we have no idea what magicians were in existence or what sorcerers were still around after the thing happens, after the snap. So we don't know where she got a hold of it, but I'm sure some point during that, just like what happened with Caecilius, he was left unattended and he did some damage, and she did the same thing, I think.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Just a random side note caveat. Speaking of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse, I'm incredibly excited that they've announced Danny Elfman is doing the score for the soundtrack for that. I feel like that's a really good fit, and we'll have some amazing music come out of it.
I think he needs to just get as far away from Tim Burton as possible, and I think this is absolutely perfect. This is amazing. I cannot wait to hear what he scores.
Anything but bum 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 bum.
Him working with Raimi is good.
I believe that he has more skill than that, Fox, but we'll wait and see. We'll hold judgment.
Hopefully it doesn't sound like Batman, because that would just
that'd be weird.
Yeah.
One passing note before we move on. What did you guys think of the bonus interaction?
It was perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfect. And I think everything they did, I think kind of goes into what I've been saying, that everything is very, very purposeful. Even the small, slow movements, the escalations are all very purposeful, and all the little foreshadowing things, with the kids this episode, the little foreshadowing aspects were brilliant to set up the big reveal. Like, that was amazing how they did that.
Dude, the Christmas or the Halloween costumes from freaking Young Avengers, I'm just like eating the shit up. I'm like, oh my god, this is freaking amazing. So,
and Wiccan's observation. Well, he's not Wiccan yet. Sorry.
No, not yet. But he's absolutely Wiccan, though. I mean,
his observation of what made Agatha different than everybody else was awesome, and I love how that played out.
And I think we'll see him further down the road. I don't know about his brother, but that's Wiccan for sure.
We probably will see. I think he's going to be Speed, because
I think so too.
I think the big surprise at the end of the mid credits scene, I think it is just a furthering of the diversion that he is not who we think he is, and then they're going to have a speedster, and it's going to be Speed.
Yeah,
it's not going to be the stunt cast of the character.
Hi, Mike. Thanks for joining us as well. Honestly, weird thing to kind of run away with on this, but what my biggest favorite thing that's come out of all of the WandaVision, with all of the changes to the canon and the twists and turns, and the fact that we've seen the darker MCU, is I'm really loving getting to see Darcy more, and she's so fun. I want to have drinks with her. I do. I want to go out drinking with this woman. And I think it would be awesome.
She's the crazy aunt. No wonder you want to hang out with her.
Me too.
I can't wait to see
which I'm drinking my wine out of a fishbowl.
I can't wait to see which way they go with Monica. They have 3 options, and they hinted at 2 of them very heavily. And I don't know which one they're going with.
I don't know either. They may do her as Photon, which she evolves into after being Captain Marvel in the 80s. So, and they kind of...
We're getting a Spectrum, though. The way they played with the lights.
What I read today said it was pushing towards Spectrum.
That's what I was thinking. Because they made a show out of her separating into her multiple identities, essentially. And
that's the one that came out of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the costume she's in right now looks exactly like her photon costume.
And I think they're going to pay homage to it, but I wonder if they're going to jump over Photon straight into Spectrum.
It's possible.
Either
Good
way,
chance.
I mean, either way they go with it, they're giving her at least some interesting.
Well, they can't make her Captain Marvel because they got Captain Marvel 2 coming.
Yeah, that's not happening.
That's not happening.
We'll wait and see what happens.
Especially because we also have a Miss Marvel already.
Yes.
So I don't think that Monica is going to be Captain Marvel unless there is a one-time necessity of her being Captain Marvel, but I don't think it's going to be a prolonged thing of any kind.
Unless
that could be interesting.
Some kind of fallout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, I think that'd be the only time that she becomes Captain Marvel, just because they already have Captain Marvel and they already have Miss Marvel. So there's no point in adding the third Captain Marvel character into it.
Nope.
At least not yet. You know, we'll wait till the next phase of Marvel.
True. But I think this is leading into the horror aspects of the Marvel universe still. And I think they proved that with this last episode, that this is a horror movie broken into 9 parts. And they're just giving it this facade of a sitcom.
Absolutely, because Vision in Michael Gross's pants, if that's not a horror to you, nothing else is.
Yeah.
Hi, Morgana. Thanks for joining us tonight. Yeah, we talked about this in depth while Smurf was in his cave, about how Marvel is really just going with a much darker side of things.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the things I'm really appreciating about WandaVision is they're not doing it like a movie broken into several parts, the way like Lemony Snicket's was done. But they are doing it as one continuous storyline, which not all sitcoms do. And it does flow continuously, and you do have to have watched the first episode for the current episode to make sense.
Oh yeah, you very much have
and
what happened before for it to make sense.
I just love that the FBI guys got turned into clowns. I thought that was absolutely
That was such a cool little
freaking awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now on for something related tangentially. What is the show Fox and you were going to discuss, Bobby? Bridgerton?
How is that at all tangentially related?
Their TV series.
It's a TV show. It's in the same tangent.
Not even a little bit, dude.
It's a TV show.
Bridgerton might be more entertaining if they had some witches in it. I don't know.
I don't know.
I have no problems being entertained by Bridgerton. Thank you very much.
It's pretty steamy.
It's got like the library.
It's pretty steamy. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If you threw Scarlet Witch in there, in her Scarlet Witch costume from the comics, even steamier. But it's well, pretty impressive so far.
One of the things that I very much appreciate about Bridgerton is Daphne ends up being the Duchess. And for those of you who only know me through Nerds That Know, you may not know that I go by Duchess. And
what?
Yeah, so, I thought it was a really fun show.
Wait, when he started talking about, all of the things he wants to do to his Duchess, it makes me happy.
Oh, you got creepy with it. That's what it is.
Yeah, you did. And you just talked right over Fox.
Well, I was still having a sex moment in my brain.
So the main guy is crazy fucking hot. He is crazy hot. And the show is very fun to watch for like the first 2/3, and then it gets into some dark shit. And don't get me wrong, I like dark shit, but it just wasn't fun to watch. Like, there are 2 people here who are completely not communicating, and I get it, they're Victorian, but like it just.
Did you finish it though?
I did, and it's like, I get that the whole purpose is this sort of idea of like, there's this the effervescent butterfly feeling of new love, and then at some point the other shoe has to drop.
That's
think
not
that's
at all.
It was just like frustrating to watch and like not fun toward the end.
But the problem isn't that they stop loving each other, it's that he lied to her and she feels betrayed.
And by today's standards, she did do something extremely non-consensual.
Yes, but okay, this gets all up into the conversation that we had before the show started of you can't expect someone in a completely different time frame to work by today's standards.
It's just weird to see it. It makes things really dark. And like the other thing is that like I'm like I don't actually think that Victorian women were that clueless about sex. Maybe for the upper echelons of society.
It also depends on, you know, which family you were brought up in. And if you read the books, it goes into that a lot, how some women do know and some women don't. And that was just the way her mother chose to raise her.
Yeah.
And it's not that all women know nothing. It's just that she didn't know, which is why she went to her lady's maid, you know, in the show. And in the book, she goes to actually the housekeeper. You know, it's conversation she has with the housekeeper. And like, because the lower, you know, classes, they have to know where the babies come from.
Yeah. Well,
because they're catching.
Because the lower classes aren't supposed to have that many children, whereas the upper classes, like especially a duchess, you're supposed to have an heir and a spare.
An heir and a spare.
I think I'm going to rename the equipment in my car from now on. Heir and spare.
One really fun thing that I did learn from reading Stephen Fry's book Victorian Secrets. I guess I listened to it on audiobook. Don't at me. But he talked about how Victorians actually were a lot more sexually liberated than we give them credit for, and there was a common belief that ugly children were born because their parents had terrible sex, and that beautiful children came from good sex where the woman came.
I mean, if that's the case, then I'm damn good, because it is shit.
And of course, this is coming out of the mind of Stephen Fry. Why does that not surprise me?
Again, the whole point of Bridgerton isn't the non-consensual, you know, there's so much more to it than that, in my opinion. But they have started filming season 2. It is an 8-book series. And then there are 2 other sub-series that are spin-offs for other families that are introduced to you within the Bridgerton stories.
Also, are they going to do all 8?
That is what Netflix has said.
Wow.
That they're going to tell the stories of all 8 of the Bridgerton children. They started with Daphne, who's actually the 4th child. And now they're going, which is the first book, because marrying off the oldest daughter is the most important thing. And now they're going back to the oldest son. And that is the book, The Viscount and I. Or no, The Viscount Who Loved Me.
If I may just interject.
Tim has just joined us. So hi, Tim. Thanks for watching.
If I may interject, Bobby, one final thought is just that I was so disappointed that the second brother wasn't gay. Like, it felt like they were like setting that up, and I was like, fuck yeah, a gay person on the show. And yeah, like there's this like tangential character who is in fact gay, but like I was like feeling vibes. I was like, these dudes are gonna be gay together. And then they weren't, and I was disappointed. Sorry, spoilers.
I'm sorry. That's unfortunate. But
thank you. That means so much to me.
I mean, but let's be fair. The Victorian era had a very specific look at homosexuality, and it was not great. It's like if they would have to be very careful approaching that subject matter in a way that did not alienate modern audiences, which
the
I think
family.
is, yeah,
And
which
honestly,
is a wise choice to not necessarily include it, because if they had to do it properly, they would do it in
Street.
a very terrible way. Let's put it
It
that
would
way.
be so much more interesting if they did address these struggles of gay Victorian men.
but that character isn't even in the books.
I mean, I guess I got that. Womp womp.
Wah, wah, wah.
Well, speaking of non-consensual touching, how did you guys feel about that Mortal Kombat trailer?
Oh, that was beautiful.
Work of art.
The crazy, over the top mania that was that trailer is perfect for that series.
I don't even think I need to see the movie. I saw everything I needed to see. I was so happy and impressed. Jimmy Olsen is playing Jax, gets his arms absolutely brutalized. I'm like, yes.
Yeah,
so
Sub-Zero,
freaking good.
Sub-Zero is a straight up monster in this, apparently.
Yeah, he
The
is.
casting in this looks ridiculous.
Yeah,
And then
I'm surprised at the cast so far. Like, we have some
Raiden
pretty
shows
high-name
up.
actors.
So good.
Oh, yeah.
I was blown away. My partner sent it to me about 2 hours after it came out, and I was just shocked at how good it was.
Oh, yeah.
And like, what more could you want? It feels like the Mortal Kombat movies in my memory, not like they actually are.
It feels like what you always wanted Mortal Kombat to be.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the effects budget must have been huge, because what we saw just alone in the trailers,
Oh yeah.
I can imagine what we're going to see for like fatalities, more like choreography for the fights. I'm ready for more. I'm looking more forward to this now than I am versus Kong and Godzilla.
And was very high on your list previously.
Yes.
The
Yeah, that was at the top.
The CGI budget for just the Scorpion versus Sub-Zero fight is probably ridiculous. Just for that fight. Because
absolutely,
what they showed for that fight is crazy.
But see, it's like the perfect balance of fan service, Easter eggs, and like bringing people into the loop. We even heard the "get over here." That was just absolute. I'm like, oh! If that's what you put in a trailer, that's a gold star right there. Absolutely.
The big news coming out of it: where is Johnny Cage?
Yeah,
I have a feeling they're holding him back. I don't think we're going to see him yet.
Who is this new character that they've introduced? Who is he supposed to be? Because he's all the main ones we have. They showed Reptile, they showed Kung Lao, they showed Liu Kang. They showed all the ones that we know. So who is this new guy supposed to be? Because his name isn't really part of
the lore,
the known lore.
Cannon fodder. Maybe he's a god.
Yeah, I think he's probably a god.
I mean, he could be. Who is it that can change form, shape change?
Shang Tsung.
Yes,
they showed Shang Tsung.
Yeah,
they
did.
Yeah,
they showed him, but maybe I don't know, because I'm like, why would they throw this no guy in for like cannon fodder unless he's a shapeshifter or a god?
Well, and based on his birthmark, he seems to be connected to the Shaolin monks.
What was the guy with the razor hat? Wasn't he part of that brood as well?
Kung Lao. They also showed Kung Lao.
Did they? Yeah. Well, never mind. I got nothing.
That's why it's confusing, because they're indicating that he might be connected to the Shaolin monks, but if he is, I have no idea who he is.
Yeah.
So interestingly, we actually put up a post on our Facebook page of the 95 character image versus the 2021 character image, and the fans on our page that have responded are all pro 95 and anti 2021 cast.
Oh, I'm sorry, they're wrong.
I mean,
I mean,
That's what I mean, but
the only one they may be right on is Christopher Lambert as Raiden. I mean, you can't beat the Highlander as an immortal
okay.
god of lightning.
Yeah, until you
Yeah.
got to the second movie and he looked like a tool bag.
Well,
they
yes.
recast him.
They recasted him.
in the second one.
I know, but
So some of the comments are so far the only one I like is who they have to play Scorpion.
Fair enough.
And the new one looks like it's going to be perfect material to snark and mock at.
really? You guys think it's going to be a dumpster fire, huh?
All right.
What the fans on our page are saying.
All I can say is I am way more excited about this than most video game movies I've ever seen.
To be fair,
quite a few video game movies last week or last show.
And most of them suck.
Yeah,
This
to
one
be
looks
fair,
like it
they
could be
haven't
good.
made a successful one with the exception of Pokemon and Sonic. We get that.
Resident
We
Evil
understand.
1.
No.
Yes. That
was
movie
okay.
was good. I
I'll
will
give him
die
okay.
on
It
that
wasn't-
hill. That movie was good.
It wasn't crap.
50-50. It wasn't crap, but it wasn't great.
The original
Any-
Mario Brothers.
No.
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 Who was I talking to? Oh, yes. Okay. This is actually relevant. So we were talking about video game movies at my birthday party because this is what you do when you're having a lovely game night. And there was a discussion about the fact that Nintendo, after Mario Brothers, the movie came out, a bunch of like D-list porn movies came out with the Mario Brothers theme. And so Nintendo bought the rights to all of these super shitty Mario Brothers porn films
So
just to keep them off the shelves.
Nintendo has a porn stash?
Yes.
Sweet.
Has a Mario Brothers porn collection.
Oof, that seems, given the low grade of a large percentage of pornography that exists, why not just release it and make some money?
Yeah.
Who says they're not? There's probably some backdoor dealings.
Well,
Yeah, apparently.
if it's low grade porn, you better be going backdoor to make it interesting.
Oh my god.
This was a discussion at game night for my birthday. That the Mario Brothers spin-off porn series is owned by Nintendo because they bought the rights to those films
Good on them.
to
that
prevent
no one could
people
make-
from selling them.
Yeah.
Oh, Jacob has recently joined us. Hi, Jacob. Thanks for watching. Everyone, please comment, give us your thoughts. We'd love to get your input on anything that we're saying, or if there's something that we're not covering, you can tell us either on this chat, to send us a message on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter. We're on all of the social medias, or you can also send us a message via email. We're at nerdsthatknow@gmail.com. We try to keep it all nice and simple. Nerds That Know is our handle on all of the things. So, anything else on Mortal Kombat?
Personally, I'm excited for it, and I can't believe the trailer came out of nowhere the way it did.
That was perfect. That was
Yeah, it worked.
It actually
Yes.
somehow took away from
Oh, hi,
WandaVision,
Sean.
which is crazy that it actually came away from that.
Actually, the other trailer that landed that was like a complete sucker punch was the Invincible second trailer that landed, promoting for the March 26th release.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
that looks amazing. And
Oh,
it's going to be on Amazon, right? That's the people who are doing it. That looks
Straight-
like it was gonna be a
yeah.
really cool story.
straight to Amazon, total skeet material, because that trailer was badass, because we get a kind of like a humble pie kind of like family story, and then it just goes to brutal, and I cannot wait to see this. So there's another trailer that just slipped in under the radar. I think it was like on Friday. It was on where did I see it? I think it was like an IMDb exclusive or something like that. It was like one of those weird offshoot sites that just all of a sudden had this trailer. So we
We'll make
posted
sure
it and
we
shared it
get
later.
Yeah, we'll
Mhm.
make sure to get that trailer posted up on the page so everybody can take a look.
Yep, I
I
think
I
it,
already did. I think.
Thoughts?
yeah, it's already up.
Hopefully your thoughts are somewhat more positive than they were towards the Mortal Kombat movie, because everyone on the team who is familiar with Mortal Kombat is excited about seeing this movie. And the fans on our page so far are saying,
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
I really think that's a lot of nostalgia talking.
I agree. As a person
like-
who rewatched those movies not long ago, I agree.
Mhm.
The end of the second one, man. Why does turning into a dragon and a monkey sound like a good idea?
Well, turning into a dragon for one of them makes
Dragons
sense, but not
always
the
sounds
way-
like a good idea. I mean,
Well,
like,
not the way they
not
did
with
it.
those special effects.
Yeah.
okay, well, maybe not there, but like even Madame Mim turns into a dragon at one point.
I'm sorry, but I will even say that the Legacy, is that what it was called? Mortal Kombat Legacy miniseries was better than the movies, the original
Yeah.
two.
Actually, Stephen Dorff as the blood god in Blade was way more convincing than the dragon
Oh yeah.
that we saw in Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah.
Sorry,
But
so
they knew
bad.
what they were doing.
All right. Letitia has just joined us and she says, being born in 79 and growing up with the comics and the games, I have to say it's going to be hard for me to believe that the new movie will be better than the originals, but she will wait and see.
Have you seen Legacy? That was better than the originals. And it was like an hour long total.
I own it, but I never actually got around to watching it.
It's a pretty, it kind
It's
of
still wrapped in plastic.
It literally is.
well, if you
It's
watch it,
VHS.
you'll actually see that the people who did this one took a little bit from it. They play up little pieces of Legacy. You can kind of see hidden throughout the trailer.
There's a lot of fan service in this trailer.
Hmm.
So we'll wait
Huge.
and see. So
Yeah, I'm excited. But speaking of incredibly brutal murders and kills, let's talk about Willy's Wonderland.
okay.
Willy's Wonderland is a treat and a festival for all that just want 2 hours to release and not have any
It's not
frustrations
2
at
hours,
the end.
it's like barely an hour and a half.
Yeah, it is barely an hour and a half.
Um,
Really was.
It's so good. Why is it so good?
I think
Oh.
it's just hitting at the right time. It really
Yeah.
is. It is the perfect release. You don't have to do anything illegal. You just got to sit there and just detach and enjoy the fuck out of it, because it is
It's
absolutely
so good.
hilarious. It's great. It's absolutely
Nicolas
great.
Cage crushes a girl's face with his thighs.
Yes,
It's so funny.
so out there.
It's
And you know what I
so
think
good.
really sold this for me even more? Because not long ago I watched the history of curse words on Netflix.
Oh, yeah, me too.
So all I kept seeing was Nicolas Cage with that awful hairpiece in a suit, sitting by fireside, telling us this tales of fornicating kings and bullshit pigs and bitches and all the fun words that came out of his mouth. And all I could see during this movie was him doing that. So I think that even added to it. I honestly
Well,
this
it
movie is
works.
absolutely great.
Yeah, it works
It absolutely
so
works.
well because like he literally plays a silent protagonist. I can't think of another movie that plays a silent protagonist quite this way.
Nope.
And I don't want to go too much into like details on it.
No
but
spoilers. Yeah, you can't give it
yeah,
away.
It is.
I have seen things that are comparing it to like Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yes, it's pretty much the same concept.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
But
And-
apparently this is slightly different. There's big gas fires, and Nicolas Cage's character doesn't even have a name. He's just the janitor.
You know what? It worked for Clint Eastwood. Why can't it work for Nicolas Cage?
Hey,
I
I'm
mean,
I'm
I
not
mean, it
trash
did.
talking it. I'm just telling you what I have learned about this movie that Stash is so excited about. It is available on I think one or two
Voodoo.
streaming services, Vudu for sure, and
It's
some
like
select theaters.
I saw it at the Alamo, and I gotta say, it is the way to watch this movie. Like,
Agreed.
it's so
You think
funny,
the
and it's
Alamo is the way to watch
so,
every movie?
yeah, that's true. It's so brutal. And honestly, the movie theater was pretty much sold out. Like, as sold out as it can be in COVID times.
Oh wow, that's good. Honestly.
So, like, every third seat was full.
Yep.
And
So currently the box office, it's looking at a little over 200,000, which considering it just released 10 days ago,
And I'm assuming it's not a nationwide
it's
2,400
not.
screen
It does
release.
say that
no,
it's in limited theaters.
Yeah.
yeah, very
Um,
limited
And
theaters.
the budget for this film was 5 million.
Oh, that's rough.
Nick Cage
Yikes.
helped produce it.
That makes sense.
That poor bastard.
Who was the production company on it?
Let's see.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I'm gonna buy this movie when it comes out.
Yeah, it will be added to the Nicolas Cage collection.
I really
sure.
like who
His
Nicolas
hall of
Cage is
overacting?
becoming in his old age.
Yes.
Because it's like all the effort and all the fucks he used to give, he's just like, I don't give them anymore.
He doesn't.
Wait,
It's perfect.
when did Nicolas Cage give a fuck?
Dude, have
gave
you
a
ever seen 8 Millimeter? He acted
was a great
his
film.
ass off
No.
in that movie.
Okay,
and that
No, but
movie's
he's
Acting
incredible.
well does not necessarily mean giving a fuck. There are
He-
times where he's just like, yes, this role, that's what I want to do. It doesn't mean he gives a fuck. Nicholas
Okay.
Cage got a point in his life, in his career, where he can just be all like, I'm going to do whatever the motherfuck I want to do.
And that's
I
always
keep-
been his tendency to
And
just.
that's what he did in this film. Good,
But he
Smith.
always
What
does.
Dash is trying to say is that Nicolas Cage is embracing becoming a meme.
He didn't embrace that a decade ago?
I'm pretty sure he
Did anybody else see
with
Kick-Ass?
the bunny back in the box.
I was just
Okay.
gonna say, did anybody else see Kick-Ass? That
Yeah.
was glorious in its not give a shit acting.
But the one that he did care about, Wicker Man, which absolutely
Ooh.
fucking bombed. You could tell he was totally committed to that character. He
Maybe
gave it
that's what killed
everything, and no, the script killed that film.
No, I'm saying
Um,
maybe that's what killed his give a shit was.
Yeah, that could be the breaking
Yeah.
point because he gave that everything he had, and it was just like, I'm gonna go back to the bunnies and fuck this shit.
'Cause I've seen all of his except for this one, I've seen all of his, dollar bin movies, and they're amazing. And the idea that he makes some interesting acting choices that are always at least interesting. Like, I don't know how you got to where you got to there, but it made it entertaining.
I mean,
I'll always watch Raising Arizona and Con
Yeah.
Air. Those
Okay,
two
well,
are fucking staples. You
Raising
need those in
Arizona
your
It's my
collection.
younger sister's favorite movie.
Yes, it is. She loves that movie. Raising Arizona is a legitimate masterpiece, though.
Yes.
I'd defend that one till the end because that was the way he is such a piece of crap in that movie, and it's amazing.
Hot topic: is Nicolas Cage a good actor or a bad actor?
Nicolas Cage.
Answer: he's
He's-
a hairy
he's-
actor.
He's good at being bad.
I wouldn't say he's bad though. Like
Oh, he's absolutely a character. He's a character actor.
he is the
Yeah.
most over the top version of William Shatner.
Wow, you're comparing him to the Shat? Wow.
I'd say he's the current version. Like except for he doesn't have the weird stilted speech pattern, but the overacting and the diving headfirst into making it bigger than it is, no matter what scene it is. Yeah, that's full on Shatner.
Is
I
he
mean,
going to release some kind of really crappy album that we all have to listen to?
No,
I think
he's
he
not
has.
that.
He's done
No,
music. I'm
he
sure.
abandoned that. He gave that up.
He tried.
I'm sure we will see him as Ghost Rider again. But I
I
can never
Absolutely.
watch Face Off. Face Off is right out. Yeah.
I
right
actually liked the first Ghost Rider movie because of him, to be honest.
No, the first Ghost Rider was great. The second one,
Yeah. Oh, that was
then-
that was a screenwriting issue, I think.
yeah. You got Sam Elliott. You can't go wrong with Sam. The man is burly. All right. You can't go wrong with Sam Elliott. The man is just fucking burly.
I can agree with you there.
Yeah.
I would say that Nicolas
That's the look of
Cage's,
longing there, Fox.
I'd say that Nicolas Cage's acting could be summed up as exquisite.
All right.
Sure.
Yeah.
In the most classical sense of the word. I get what you're going for there.
He is so much the exquisite character actor. He puts everything that he is into every scene that he's in. And it's the craziest thing to watch because sometimes it's out of context and he does it anyway.
Tank, I am so curious to see what you think of this movie.
Well, I'll have to give it a watch because it sounds like I'm going to be entertained very much. So,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you definitely will be. I mean,
Without a doubt.
yeah, I can guarantee you how they sold this to Nicolas Cage was like, what is the most graphic thing you ever wanted to do? We can make that happen.
According to the article that I have read, because I did look it up after you talked to me about it, was the script, according to Nicolas Cage, the script hit his desk and he was all like, this is fucking hilarious. Okay, let's fucking do it.
Yeah.
See, that sounds like Nicolas Cage.
But-
It sounds like Nicolas Cage. I don't believe he has a
But,
desk,
like,
but
nobody went to
it
him and
sounds just
was
like
like,
him.
please, please, please do this movie. It was the script made it to his pile. Because, you know, at the Nicolas Cage's point in his career, he has a pile of scripts that people are sending him.
Yeah,
It made it into the
I agree
pile.
with Smurf. I sincerely doubt desk. I assume pile of LSD is where they set the screenplay.
Oh, yeah. He's got a coffee. He's like Dennis Hopper. He's got a coffee table just full of scripts. And occasionally he picks one up and he goes, yeah, I'll do this. What the fuck? This is crazy. I'm in. And
Yeah, basically.
suddenly Christopher Walken sounds like Dennis Hopper. I don't know what happened there, but you know, you get the idea.
So, yeah, but that's basically what happened.
You know, you just connected two thoughts right there for me, Smurf. Now what we need to have is Christopher Walken's character from Joe Dirt do the same thing.
Oh my God, that'd be perfect.
Stab you in the
Somebody's
face with a
head their
soldering iron.
eyes.
Don't like how you're talking to my man.
All right. So, other fabulous things in movie news that have been happening. You know what? Let's actually go with something that is fabulous, and that is the Cruella images that we've been seeing.
Yes.
Let's do.
I mean,
This is something
fabulous is
Fox
the
has
right
been
word.
incredibly happy about, and I'm sure have made it into the Spank Bank.
Listen. I don't have anything to follow that up, but
Okay.
Just listen.
You want to tell me I'm wrong, but
so after watching the trailer, my thoughts are just that like, it's interesting that Disney is going to keep doing these like gritty from the villain's perspective thing. And then just like, I'm not sure what that like accent or affect Amy Adams is doing. I'm not sure about that one, but Amy Adams is great. So, I mean, is it Amy Adams? Did I get the name wrong?
Playing
Emma
Cruella is
Stone?
Emma Stone.
yeah, it's
Yes.
a stone.
Down. Oh my
I
God.
was like, is Amy Adams?
I was like, I didn't see her. Was she?
I
in
didn't
that?
see any.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, maybe she's the wife.
That's
Does
what I
Cruella
had.
have
That
a
was my first
sister?
thought. I was like, is she playing the wife of?
Yeah, is that a sister?
No, because like
Emma
what's her
Stone
name?
is her name.
What is the
It's
wife's
okay.
name?
I think this is
owner of
before
all-
the wife. This is before that though.
Anita.
Isn't it?
It seems
Yeah.
to be. Yeah, this seems to
Yes,
be.
but
a
like that's
origin.
the only person I could think that Amy Adams would play would be Anita.
This
No,
seems
this is
like an
Emma
origin
Stone.
story, yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Fun.
And
Yes.
she plays such a good, just edgy character. I really,
Just
she's a great choice. She's a great choice.
delicious.
Yes. Absolutely delicious.
And to be honest, like out of all the Disney remakes that they've done live action, the only one that I did not like at all. There's some that are iffy. There's some that are okay. The one that I did not like was Dumbo, and that's just because it creeped me out.
Dumbo was
One that I
horrible.
hated, absolutely hated, was Lion King.
I
Lion
liked
King is even worse.
No,
What?
Lion King was the same story. It was the
No,
same
they
exact
fucked
story.
it up so bad.
No, they didn't.
Yes,
The
they
one,
did.
no,
They
the
even
one that's the worst is
sampled
Aladdin.
all of the music.
Aladdin is the worst tank of all of them.
No,
What,
no,
you gotta
Lion King was the worst.
hate Stiffy for Will Smith or what?
No,
No.
it has nothing to do with Will Smith. It was absolutely pointless and flat. There was no heart, emotion, or like any kind of caring involved in Aladdin.
You're wrong.
No, I'm
Lion
absolutely
King is the
right.
worst. The Lion King is the worst.
No, it's not.
No,
Dumbo
Aladdin's
is
the worst. Aladdin's
Dumbo
the
was
worst.
horrifying.
I fell asleep watching Lion King in the theaters.
That's because it's the same story it was when you were 5.
No, I liked it then. And first off, I'm older than you, motherfucker.
I'm sorry, 10. I don't know. Lion King's not. The Dumbo was the worst. That one was atrocious.
Dumbo is pretty bad.
Dumbo is bad. Lion King is the worst.
No, Aladdin. I'm going with Aladdin's the worst.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
Okay, which one was the best though? It was Jungle Book, right?
No, it was Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast.
I like Jungle Book more.
No way.
Well, which
Bill
Jungle Book
Murray
though?
as Baloo was brilliant.
Yeah, see, you have to define which Jungle Book because there's like 3 of them that came out.
The good one that Disney did when they made Bill Murray Baloo and Idris Elba as why can't I remember the Panther's name?
Shere Khan or
Deborah.
No,
Bagheera?
Bagheera.
Bagheera. Is that the one with Christopher Walken as King
he
Louis?
was Shere Khan. He was Shere Khan. You're right. Idris was Shere Khan. But
Is that the
to
one?
make you fall in love with the wolf character and to make you have such a deep connection at the beginning of that movie that you could legitimately feel how much she cared for Mowgli, that it was better than they present most mothers in most movies. Like she did such an amazing job of just making you feel for that, all of them, for all the characters, even straight off the beginning. But I don't know, that was me.
Yeah. I mean, I can see your point. I just think you're wrong.
No, it's okay.
Yeah,
Beauty and the Beast was
Sash
great.
cried when
You know
he
what?
saw Beauty and the Beast. So
I
You know
did
what?
cry. It's a beautiful story.
It is.
We'll put it out there. All right, everyone listening, whether it be the video right now or the podcast on all the platforms, let us know which is the worst Disney film. We all have our opinions.
No.
worst Disney
Live
remake,
action
worst
remake.
Disney film
Worst-
opens it up to a lot.
Yeah,
Yes.
worst Disney film
Okay,
is a whole
worst-
different bucket.
Worst Disney live action.
remake. Yeah,
There we go.
and
All right.
also the best. Let's
Also the best,
let's
yeah.
make
I don't
it.
care about the best because it's Beauty and the Beast.
It is.
It is.
Holy shit, I agree with Smurf on something. I hate it.
Somebody call hell and check the temperature.
That's just because you guys think Emma Watson's hot.
You don't have to. I just got a bucket of ice from there. So the fact is,
That's the cave you were in.
ta-da! The fact is, we're not going to decide this. We will let the fans decide this. Let us know what you think. We would appreciate some input because obviously we're just going to end up in mud wrestling or Jello or some shit like that. So nobody wants to see that.
Actually,
Agreed.
that is something that you want to see. Let us know. I have an inflatable pool that I bought just for sloshing. So
Oh my God, Fox got extreme
Oh,
close up on
man.
that.
That got her super excited. That fuck's super excited. Wow.
one of my
Oh
mom
my
is
God.
into piggy play. I have an inflatable pool that I have just for sloshing. So
That
if
was
you want to see mud wrestling, Jello wrestling, any of
Fox looks like she's about to cry. Fox,
Not
are you going to cry?
those. Okay.
I just have so many ideas.
All right,
right.
moving on. What else we
Other
got?
things that are happening in this world. Johnny Depp is no longer unemployed,
seemingly no.
but he is still, pounding pavement and knocking on doors, trying to find work after all of the Amber Heard insanity that happened earlier this year, end of last year.
But-
And
but I don't know, because I've heard rumors that he's coming back for Pirates, that something got like
There have been
sorted.
rumors about it, but there's nothing been confirmed from Disney that I have heard.
Not yet.
Disney hasn't confirmed it, and neither has Johnny Depp.
Well, it could be they're trying to let it die down as much as possible before
Let
they
it
do the
simmer. Because let's face it, he's carrying that franchise.
It might be James
He
Gunning
is.
it.
Oh, he is.
If he doesn't come back, it's already a dead franchise. But if he's not coming back, nobody's
that
going to go
horse
see
is
this
blue.
film.
We get it.
Yeah.
It might
But
be just James Gunning it. It was a 2-year layoff for James Gunn, right?
yeah,
So-
but he
roughly.
does have a new job as Joker.
Which is weird because that means he's working for the same company as his alleged victim in this scenario.
Mhm.
Mhm. But there are so many. So you have Jared Leto, you
Uh-huh.
have whacking Phoenix
Who has been the best Joker for a while.
for a while, and now we're going to throw Johnny Depp into the mix.
Which sounds like we're going back to the Jack Nicholson version of Joker.
I think it's going to end up being like a very Jared Leto type situation where it's like over the top, obnoxious, like just awful. I mean, I love Johnny Depp, but I think that him in this role is like
He's going to be super campy.
chaos.
Well, and I think he's going to be super campy. It's not going to just be chaos.
Yeah.
It's going to be over the top, like goofy, because that's what he does.
Well, no, because when I heard about this, I automatically thought of like Rear Window, when he's like the offbeat kind of weird serial killer in that film, and I kind of can see where they're going at, but can he shift the gear to go back that far?
And that's what I'm saying. Like he
I
hasn't
don't know
been
if
that.
he has the skill to go back to that.
He hasn't been that in 15.
An excellent question. That's exactly right. So I mean, even like his Harry Potter was very reminiscent of Jack Sparrow and all of his other kind
Willy
of
Wonka.
flamboyant,
Wonka
absolutely
and-
flamboyant Tim Burton-ness. So,
But at this point, they keep, they're bringing him up for Joker. How about let's just dig up Cesar Romero and puppet his ass around town and do it that way.
Only if he still has the mustache.
I'm
of
pretty sure
course,
he's all
only he has
skeleton
the
at this
mustache.
point.
He is never losing that mustache.
Because you have to
Never.
have the mustache painted white.
Yes.
It's very important.
But that's
Fucking
what
hell.
it's seemingly if he's going to play the way that he's played the most recent 15 years worth of characters, that's what we're getting. We're getting that weird, goofy, over the top Joker.
I'm on
Yeah.
that same page.
Yeah, I'm not down for that. I'm just no.
Now, if he goes the Rear Window direction, I'm in 100% because that would be dark as shit to have him and this what seems to be fully psychotic Riddler, harassing Batman. That'd be amazing.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
If
He
that's what
used
we
to
get.
He used to have this amazing skill and depth. And then he became Jack Sparrow.
No, then
and-
he became Tim Burton.
Yeah.
That's what it is. He became Tim Burton's puppet, essentially. So all the weird intricacies that Tim Burton has, they are now made realized in Johnny Depp's actual personality and acting ability.
Just ingrained in him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so like the cast that we're looking at for this film, we're looking at Robert Pattinson as Batman.
Which
Zoe
I'm actually starting to like a little bit now.
After you saw the lighthouse.
I'm still not hating it. I'm still not loving it, but I'm less hating it. Then we'll have Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman,
Awesome.
Paul Dano as the Riddler,
Awesome.
Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon,
Why not? Yeah, Jeffrey Wright. Makes sense.
John Turturro as Carmine Falcone,
All you have to say is John Turturro, and that makes it interesting.
Yeah, it's just automatically gangster. All right.
Yeah.
Colin Farrell as the Penguin.
Which is cool based on what they've done so far. And if they do it right and they don't, because he has a tendency to kind of go a little off script too, it seems like. But if they really play it the classic, not 66 classic version of Penguin, but
The Burgess Meredith penguin.
Not that far back, but
Wonk, wonk,
Like
wonk,
Michael
wonk, wonk,
Keaton
wonk.
penguin.
like
Wonk, 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 wonk.
like mid 80s, early 90s comic book penguin.
I was
And
their
he-
number one son, and they treated me like number two.
And Colin Farrell can do dark.
He
Which-
can,
can.
and if they do it right, that looks like what this is happening with this. That they're
Yeah.
making.
They are planning on making this film incredibly dark.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be a psychological serial killer movie with Batman as the detective, essentially.
Yeah,
I really
and that's
like-
basically everything that I've seen on it is.
Which is awesome because that's a different version of Batman. It's
Mhm.
not the Dark Knight Batman that we saw that was gritty and action filled. This looks like they're really tapping into the year one detective Batman.
Oh, I was going to say Long Halloween for sure.
Oh yeah, there you go, Long Halloween. Same, that similar vein of where he is more of a detective than an action hero. And that is
Sean
awesome.
asks what we think about the Danny DeVito penguin.
I don't like Batman Returns if I'm being honest. So there you go.
Come on, no, Danny DeVito was such an obvious choice for Penguin. It's classic,
He was.
and it's
It was an
such a
obvious-
throwback.
He was an
It's
obvious
perfect.
choice, but it was so
Well, the problem was again Tim Burton.
yeah. He
Who-
went to
who
Tim
was-
Burton.
Horror is not stripes. I don't care what you think or what you say. Horror is not. Let's put some stripes on it. Now it's scary.
Well, no, and I figured it was going to be okay. I obviously the '89 Batman was great. I
Yes.
don't like what they did in the Return. I don't like it. They went too far to the other side, and I was like, "What is this? Why do I want to see this?"
If I'm absolutely honest, I think the depiction that we got of Penguin from DeVito was perfect, but I would have liked to have seen like the Gotham version that we
That's what I
saw
was thinking.
with the Penguin, the fall from grace. I would have actually liked to have seen more of that, and him bringing in like the clown gang. I would like to have seen him rise to power and actually have like the Iceberg Lounge. I think that would have been much more impactful, but it played well to the character.
Let's put it this way. I am not here to call out Danny DeVito as the issue. That wasn't the issue.
No, it was Tim Burton.
It was Tim Burton.
Absolutely Tim Burton.
I would rather watch Batman Forever than Batman Returns. 100%.
Agreed.
And that's sad because Batman Forever was not great.
No.
But I don't know, Danny DeVito. Well, Danny DeVito is always awesome, but I think they're
Danny
going in a
DeVito's always entertaining. He's not always awesome. He's always
Okay,
There's
Okay.
a big difference.
He is usually a really entertaining character, no matter what he is.
That is true.
He
It's
is
like I
entertaining.
always wonder what I'm going to see when he's on screen, but that
Well, it's gonna
doesn't
be weird.
necessarily mean
It's gonna
like I don't know how much he actually acts and how much of it is just hey, I'm
his
Danny DeVito.
personality. Yeah.
Yeah,
It is just his personality. So
I think so.
I'm pretty
but-
sure we've gotten to see that a lot in what is it, Always Sunny?
Yeah, yeah.
But I
We've
will
seen
say
a
this:
lot
if
of his
that penguin shows up in this movie, I'm going to be very angry.
We'll
I
wait
want
and
the-
see.
I want
This is one that I'm actually looking forward to watching.
I want
Yeah.
the Capone-like penguin, who's just this criminal gangster mastermind that
Yeah.
owns everything around him.
I'm honestly really curious as to how they're going to do this particular movie with all of these various villains, because I've seen them try to do Batman with all of the villains at once before. I mean, a couple of times before, obviously, but not well.
Well, as Smurf says, it looks like they're leaning into the Long Halloween, which is very dependent. It's less of a Batman story. It's more of a rogues gallery of monsters story. And he's just stuck trying to figure out how to stop all of the crazy shit from happening that's going on around him.
Okay. Well,
Which
let's
sounds
see
like
what
the
happens.
want to see if it's not Batman Beyond, anyways.
Yeah. Which that'd be interesting.
I just want to see whether or not Robert Pattinson's bat suit has nipples.
It won't.
It won't.
It should. And
They
they be pierced.
No, they're going year one Batman, it seems like, which is very
Did
low.
show his underwear?
I don't think so. But it's
Yeah.
a lot more of a low tech version of Batman.
Adam West Batman?
Not that low tech.
Yeah, no nipples, just very prominent balls.
Well, that's all Batman. I mean,
Yeah.
we can thank Kevin Smith forever. We've
The
seen Batman's
vinyl, the rubber, the Kevlar, whatever
You
it is.
just want to rub up against it.
But I feel like we either have, big rubber nipples or Adam West. Those are our two extremes.
I feel like those are the same extreme.
No, those are
They
very
are for its
different extremes.
goofiness, yeah. But Adam West had defended from the time that he did that. He was playing that character intentionally in that manner. He wanted it to be over the top. He wanted it to be weird and campy because he thought of it as a satire.
And it was fantastic. Like some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Yeah. That was a very satirical approach to Batman, and that was, I believe,
entirely intentional, and it was fantastic. And the Adam West Batman, series will always be one of my all-time favorite things to watch. My nephew loves Adam West Batman.
Oh, who doesn't love Adam West Batman?
It's his favorite. He doesn't like any of the other Batmans.
Well, I would disagree with that, but
yeah,
he's 6.
I know your nephew. I've met him a couple times. I've met him.
But like that is his favorite. He's 6 years old, and he likes, he went as Robin, but he went like with the Robin with the underwear over his pants.
He didn't go with Titan's version of Batman that said "fuck Batman," because that was a funny version of Robin too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was a funny.
Well, while we're on the topic of the number of remakes that Batman has had, reboots that have been coming out, because holy hell, there are a fuck ton of them. They are talking about rebooting Criminal Minds less than a year after it's been off air.
Hi, welcome to Fox's Thirst Corner. Matthew Gray,
everywhere you are always.
I will take any excuse to thirst over Matthew Gray Goobler.
Is he involved? I don't think he is. I would agree if it was the original cast, but it seems like none of them want to do it.
This is something that Paramount Plus is talking about doing. And
the biggest draw of that show was the characters, right? I'm not wrong, and like it was the interesting characters and how they all interplayed with each other.
Absolutely. Yes. And Shamar Moore was absolutely fabulous to watch, and
and he had a weird dark background that ended up coming to light, and it made him more interesting.
Yeah, but the show is lasted for, I believe it was 15 seasons.
Is that right? God damn.
Yeah, 15 seasons, launched 2 spin-offs.
Both of which were toxic.
Yeah, the spin-offs did not last well. But the show has ended in 2020. And they're already talking about a reboot.
Why?
Because apparently CBS needs money.
They have a lot of money, and they're doing the same thing that they've done with every show that they have, and that is, let's remake the same exact thing with a different cast and see if it crashes and burns, which it usually does within a couple of seasons.
Yeah, I mean, which is what happened with when they tried to reboot Charmed, which was a complete and total disaster. They're now also HBO is rebooting True Blood and is pissing off the original cast. The original cast has been speaking out, like going, first off, I'm going to have nothing to do with this reboot. Second, how the fuck dare you we put our heart and souls into, I think it's like 18 seasons or something into that crap.
There is not 18 seasons.
There's not 18 seasons, maybe 5.
I think
Okay,
it was
whatever. It felt
like
really
5 or 6. Yeah, something like that. Is Alexander
It was
Skarsgård
5.
speaking out against it?
Let me go ahead and
If
pull up.
Skarsgård is like voicing, there's some bad juju there.
Yeah, if Skarsgård's speaking out against it, then that's a bad idea.
You don't want to cross.
So there were 7
Mhm.
seasons.
You don't want to cross
You
Skarsgård.
don't.
Have you
So,
seen?
Sean says
Any of 'em.
Adam West was awesome. We all agree Adam West was awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, so True Blood, they're completely rebooting that from the beginning, not using any of the original cast. Most people have from the original cast that I've been following have all had negative things to say about it.
Mm.
Winx, which we covered very briefly a few weeks ago, that Stash and I had watched, is a live action reboot of a cartoon series. It has been, Netflix has signed it up for a second season. You know, the first season kind of ended on this like big moment. But that's also a reboot. It's based
Well,
off
and
of a cartoon series.
They're doing Buffy again.
Yep, they're doing Buffy again. And man, the stuff that's been said about that.
Well, I that seems like it's going to be a hard sell because that had such a rabid fan base.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That seems like
Still
a hard
does.
sell.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
that's
really funny. Sarah Michelle Gellar came out with something, says once in every generation, the Slayer is born, blah, blah, like whole big thing, exactly what the intro of the original
Yeah.
Buffy was. And she's all like, so absolutely not will I be doing this again.
Well, and it makes sense. I mean, it still is, it's still ongoing, right? I mean, the comic series still exists.
Well, and if you think about the way the series ended, I'm sorry, spoiler for anybody who has not seen the final, season from 2003.
I was going to say that's 15 years ago when that ended or something like that.
But the
You
final
haven't seen it,
season
tough shit.
basically activated all of the dormant Slayers in the immediate vicinity to
So
get
is
all of
this-
the help that they needed, in Buffy, the final season.
So are the initial reports on this that it's going to be a direct follow-up?
I think
I don't
it's
know.
a reboot.
Yeah, it could just be a reboot, but it could be a follow-up. I don't know. There's not really a lot of information.
Okay.
But that was a 7-season show.
Well, I mean,
But
it's
like still has a huge fan base.
well, Hollywood is Hollywood, and there's no such thing as them not
An
selling a
original idea.
franchise. Yeah, there is never a final episode unless they just don't do it. Which seemingly at this point they're willing to basically reboot anything if they think
and
they
I
can
feel
make a buck on it.
I feel like we talk about this every few weeks. Like that's
Oh, yeah.
just the era that we live in. Is just like, oh God, all these reboots.
Well, and some of them play out pretty well, but unfortunately, at this point, the vast majority of them last 1 or 2 seasons, and then they hit the dumpster pile. So
Yeah, I mean, so far, like all of the reboots that we've seen, the one that strikes me as the most odd is the Criminal Minds reboot.
yeah, that's such a weird move.
Especially when they're
series
talking about
ended
canceling
last
NCIS New Orleans.
Well, NCIS does that every couple of years. They release a new one for 5 years and then it gets canceled.
Yeah, well,
So,
NCIS is still on.
Yeah,
The
the original is still on.
Yeah, the
It's
original is still going. And
Same with-
NCIS is, its own animal.
But well, I don't know. We'll see. It's never gonna stop. So I guess if we watch it, we watch it. If we don't, it dies a horrible death.
I mean, though, I'll probably watch the reboots when they happen.
I don't know if I'm gonna watch the Criminal Minds reboot, to be honest about that.
Well, I'll
Well,
watch at least
there.
the first season or the first couple of episodes
Maybe
because
Buffy.
I have seen that through to completion.
I'll check
The
out Buffy.
only reason I even watched the first season was because of Mandy Patinkin.
That's
Exactly.
because Mandy Patinkin
was
is
it.
amazing.
And he absolutely hates that show.
He
so
is.
it's weird.
He does hate that show.
He
said that it was,
does. He's all like, it was so dark.
It was.
which is
He
funny.
said
Because then
had
he
to
went and did Dead Like Me.
He said he had to recover psychologically from that show because of how traumatic it was dealing with
Yeah.
rape and, as he said,
And
rape
then
and
he goes
murder
to
on a
Homeland.
weekly basis.
Well, apparently Homeland is
Yeah.
less
And then he goes
personal.
to Homeland.
But it's less personal if you think about
It's-
it. Homeland is
okay.
about,
Yeah.
like blowing up a city.
Well, and it's a different take on it. And even his character is very different. It's not about dealing with the daily atrocities of serial killers. It's dealing with the weird political culture of violence, essentially. I don't know. I don't see I don't put
I
those
don't
two
know.
together.
Yeah. Anyway, what else we got?
So Last Ronin second book came out
Yes.
Woohoo!
last week.
And
Yep.
following along with the first book, giving us some interesting new ideas to deal with, and we get essentially the new Casey Jones, which is really cool.
Yeah, that I saw that.
And it is officially the highest published IDW comic ever at 130,000 copies on the first run, and the second run is already in production.
Yep.
Which
So-
is just
And-
absolutely crazy.
Yep. And we do find out which turtle goes first,
Yep.
which is
Interesting.
Like I said, I think it was interesting, and it makes total sense that we find out who the last Ronin is in the first issue, so that we can focus on who's left and how they left. And it's kind of it's heartbreaking, but it's cool. It's actually a great story.
It is. It's a great continuation. It really picks up and gives you more context about why things are the way they are.
Well, I'm excited to read it when I get it, but
You will be getting it soon.
no, that wasn't like pressure saying getting
Oh
it soon.
no! I'm saying you will be getting it soon, and I can't wait to
I'm-
get it to you
yeah.
because I think you're gonna love it.
Get it in the
I
mail,
probably
bitch.
will.
Yeah, it is. It's good. It's a good read.
Mhm.
And then
I'm
following
excited.
up darkness with more darkness, we had Wonder Woman, seemingly the last hero alive 100,000 years in the future,
That's this is DC Future State.
which basically makes DC a bunch of liars.
Yep.
'Cause
Hello, Thanos.
well, and it's darkness for the sake of darkness. Again, it's DC trend of let's make everyone horrible and deadly and dead. And
They just like watching us
Yep.
cry.
I think I'm not. I think they like torturing their characters. It seems like
I think so.
because Flash has some fucked up stuff happen. The Teen Titans have fucked up stuff happen.
So
Batman
what you're saying
again?
is that DC writers are all basically
Masochists?
sadists
Yeah.
who don't have the appropriate masochists in their life, so they have to take it out on their characters.
Oh, and they do a damn good job of it. And
That they do.
Wonder Woman, I won't say that it's a bad story, but the ending is basically like, well, fuck. All right. You know?
Yeah, I was not.
Well, and it's a weird
Are you pooping?
Yeah, because it's bullshit.
it's
Ah!
a weird retcon / revelation of Wonder Woman as a character.
Yeah,
Essentially. Like the
not happy.
way that they
I
play
don't know. I don't know any Wonder Woman fan will be.
Oh, I wouldn't be. I mean, the way that they, I mean, unless you're like super gung ho about her being literally the most powerful thing in existence, minus two characters.
Who, pray tell, do you have as more powerful than the Wonder Woman?
Well, the one that makes her not the last living character, and the other one that was there when it happened. So,
No spoilers.
I'm not giving away what happened. Pick it up if you want to see.
No.
Oh, which reminds me, I have
Yep.
a stack of comic books to give back to you. I finished reading all of the ones that you've given me so far.
I got a whole new stack for you if you want them.
Sweet. I will trade with you when I come down.
Sounds good. But I mean, and you know, comics this week, it's a lot of endings and weird beginnings
Mm,
for the most part.
yeah,
And
and there may be some delays.
probably again, yes. I would guess so at this point. But, you know,
With shipping and dealers and all that jazz.
Frozen weather.
frozen weather delayed a lot of stuff. It delayed my shipments, honestly, too. So we'll see. But, you know, the big happenings, King in Black. Iron Man's took an interesting turn. Flash is a weird and devastating turn, but we'll see how that plays out in the continuation of the series, I guess.
When it goes back to normal, I don't even know.
That's the weird thing.
I don't even know. I don't even know.
This future state thing seems
Maybe?
so ill-advised at this point now. Like, even more so than it did before. It didn't seem like a good idea to begin with. But then we got some interesting characters. And then they immediately fuck those characters up. And it's weird.
Yep. Because now we've got like the new Batman future state with Lucius Fox's family, which is coming out this week. And there's just some really weird shit going on. So I proceed cautiously.
Yeah. If you have a character that you really follow, give it a shot. Green Lantern's not too bad, but that's because Green Lantern's kind of a across all timelines character because they can really play with it. So I don't know. Weirdly enough, this week I actually say I would stick to Marvel because they have some interesting stuff happening.
Well, and one of the fabulous things with Marvel that Tank and I were talking about this weekend is the fact that Marvel comic books, TV shows, and cinematic universe are all now falling under one big umbrella, one leadership. And so we're going to see things more cohesive.
I'm hoping that's what ends up happening.
And that we may even see where it's important for you to, read the comic to know what's happening on the TV show to then follow up with the movie. And they may do that to, help with their sales and whatnot.
Well, and at this point,
to make the storylines, cover more.
At this point, I'm wondering when they make Donny Cates the editor-in-chief at Marvel, because he's writing half of their main stories right now.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I believe that is everything that we have on the agenda for the evening. Does anyone else have any beautiful little tidbits that they would like to share with our fans, viewers, followers, and such?
Tank, I just wanted to say or ask you, what did you think of Space Sweepers?
Oh yeah, that was a interesting story. Like it is weird, and I watched it where it had the subtitles on it, and their English interpretations were fucking hilarious. I will say that. And that was really fun. It's a cool story. It's
so anime. I love that.
So anime.
Yeah.
Yes. And they're so flawed of a character, but the way they come through in the end and the whole story is absolutely brilliantly woven. I really love that story.
The bow on the end is really cool.
Yes.
That is really cool how they end that story. It's worth a watch. If you have Netflix, watch it. It's fun. It's entertaining. It's heartwarming in places. It's devastating in others. But at the end, you do end up saying, like, damn, that was actually worth watching.
There's a great payoff. There's an excellent payoff to that movie.
There definitely is. I appreciated it a lot, and I hope it represents a new direction that Netflix is going to be going, because they've been really pushing their foreign films lately, and hopefully we get more of like this quality and not more of the kind of shovelware we've been getting.
I would
Oh
say
my-
they need to work on their subtitles, but besides that, yes.
I don't know, but I think it worked well because you've got all of these different like cultures working together, and I don't think they skimped on anything in the budget because the special
Oh
effects
no.
are great. The robot that they've got on the ship is fucking amazing. Oh
Oh,
my
yeah.
god, I wanted more of the robot. I was like, just give me more of that fucker because that guy was great.
It was incredibly engaging. The only thing that ever took me out was literally I followed along with the subtitles, and I was like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck? That's not what Jay just said. What's going on?"
Oh, see, I turned it on default language, so and left the subtitles on, and that was probably a much more easy way to absorb it.
That's probably
I
the better
think
way to
it
go.
would be. I didn't purposely turn it on. It just came on automatically, and I was like, "Oh, whatever, fine, I'll leave it." And I was like, "Oh, this is really fun." But what the hell is up with the dialogue?
Yeah, because those Russians, let me tell you, that I don't think that's what they were saying. But all right, I'll go with it.
No, that's definite. What based on the English sub and the English dub, that's not what they were saying.
That's not what they were saying.
I always like it when the sub and the dub don't match.
Oh, not even
yeah.
close.
I find that hilarious.
Because there was like when I was watching Korean Odyssey, which is another one of my favorites. A few like words are kind of like off. You're like, no, I don't think that's what they're saying. But all right, fine.
But either way, it is a good watch.
It is a great watch.
It's worth a couple hours of your time for sure.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, that's all I had.
Catch up on your, if you're a big fan of the CW, the Berlanti verse. Batwoman is on week 3, I think. Black Lightning's on week 5, I want to say. And we get our Superman and Lois back from the Crisis.
Actually, I'm going to tell you, save your time and don't watch Batwoman. Absolutely, it's a dumpster fire. It really is.
Did you watch this season yet?
Yes.
It's weird how they did that.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It is absolutely horrible.
I don't want to say it's horrible. It's just they had to make a hard left turn, and they did it in the weirdest way possible.
I mean, Black Lightning, I can kind of see where it's going because they did say this is the last season for it, and
they're rolling Painkiller out into his own series.
Yeah, which is nonsense. But
oh no, I love Painkiller.
No, it's another like translucent character that we really don't need anything on, but it's fine.
But Superman and Lois starts on Wednesday?
Yeah, like Tuesday or Wednesday. It's like a 2-hour premiere too.
Yeah. It might be tomorrow. I think you're right. I think it's tomorrow.
All right, well, let's wait and see what happens with that. And we'll cover it next time you see us. So follow Nerds That Know on all forms of social media. If you have any questions, feel free to drop us a line on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or email. We are Nerds That Know on all of those platforms. Just choose to put the @ sign at the appropriate place. For email, it's at Gmail. And we look forward to talking to you every Monday night. We will be live streaming on Facebook Live and Twitch and YouTube live stream.
Absolutely. Every week. So if you have questions you want us or things you want us to cover, send us a message throughout the week. We'll bring it up. And until then, run fast, laugh hard, and always be kind.
Bye, everyone. Okay, and here.